Hey folks, welcome. My name is Emily and this is Gently Chaotic Knits, which is generally a video podcast series about what I have been knitting. I will sometimes talk about spinning. Actually, I'll often talk about spinning. I will sometimes talk about crochet or sewing if I have been up to that, but I have not been doing that recently. So mostly just knitting and spinning. I live here in Seattle, Washington with my husband and our pup Norman, who is unlikely to visit today because I have not turned the heater on downstairs. I don't need to. I have my cozy, warm, new sweater, but he will not come downstairs with me unless the heater is on. So we probably won't have any visits from him today. This is just a normal project update video. So it's been 2 weeks since my last one, so it's time to do another one. I've got some great progress to show you. I've got some finished objects, including a sweater I am wearing. I have some new cast-ons, I guess 2 new cast-ons, and some progress on some projects I've been working on as well. So let's hop into it. Today I am wearing one of my finished objects for the last 2 weeks is the Stripe Hype by Veronika Lindberg. I have been working on this for, I think, just around a month, and I finished it up actually last week. So I finished it, I think, last Thursday. Today is Thursday, September 26th. So I finished it a week ago, but we were traveling Friday to Tuesday, so I didn't actually end up weaving in the ends and blocking it until yesterday. I also did not, I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not weave in all the ends. I only wove in the ends that were like kind of close to the edges, so like close to the neck and each of the sleeves and the body, just because I didn't want any ends sticking out. So I wove in some of the ends and I like washed it and blocked it yesterday. I was really nervous it was not gonna be dry in time because, yeah, I don't know, it just felt pretty wet and it's kind of cold here now, so I didn't think it was going to dry in time. So I actually last night set it up downstairs with a fan on it. Came downstairs this morning and the top was dry but the bottom was wet, so I flipped it over and I put the fan back on it, and it actually just finished and was dry like maybe an hour ago. So just in the nick of time. Also just in the nick of time for apple picking. If y'all may remember, I knit this sweater specifically to wear when we went apple picking this year, or when we go apple picking this year. We have not gone yet. We're going tomorrow, actually. I'm really excited. We actually, I think, are planning to go apple picking multiple times this year, but the first of which will be tomorrow. So I'm really, really excited that I finished it just in time, and I can't wait to wear it. It's gonna be so cute, I think, in the orchard, and I love the fit and how everything turned out. So let me give you all the information about it. Oh, also, by the way, before I move on past this part, I did kind of a casual knit along for apple picking. It started out as garments, but really apple picking anything. So and also it doesn't have to be apple picking, any kind of like fall activity. If you want to knit something or crochet or whatever, something specifically to wear for apple picking or for like pumpkin patch visit or anything like that. We have a Instagram chat group, and everyone has been so sweet and supportive in that group. We have lots of folks sharing like that they finished now, and some really, really beautiful things. So yeah, it's probably not too late if you want to join. I don't know how long we're gonna go with this, but if you want to, send me a DM on Instagram and I can get you added to the group. It is just really fun fall vibes. Everyone is so sweet. So yeah, feel free to reach out if you're interested in that. But I knit this sweater as part of that make along, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. So the yarn I used is West Wool's Tandem, which is a DK weight 100% wool from Stephen and Penelope in Amsterdam. It's West Wool, so it's one of their in-house yarns. I think they may have several. There is a fingering weight sister to this yarn called Bicycle, which, if you think about the naming, is so cute because Amsterdam, of course, is like a big biking city. And so the fingering weight is called Bicycle and the DK weight is called Tandem, like a tandem bicycle. And I don't think I have the tag anymore, but the tag on the yarn has like a little tandem bicycle on it. It's so cute. Anyway, I knew that I wanted this yarn before I even visited the shop because I had seen and like heard about it online, and the name and everything just really got me. So I knew I wanted it already. I guess I can talk about this now too. I was originally, the colors that I picked, I was inspired by a Pendleton blanket. I don't remember, it was from their National Park series, but I don't remember which national park it was. Maybe Glacier National Park? I don't remember. These colors are not exactly the same as the colors. I think I can put a picture up of the blanket that inspired me. But anyway, I picked these colors. I was just, I don't know, really into the colors of that blanket. And I thought, I want to make a sweater, those colors. So I picked out these colors. I wasn't sure exactly what pattern I wanted to make, but I'd seen a couple of my friends make stripe pipe sweaters and really loved them. And so I decided I wanted. And I was really unsure about the color layout and everything because this one contrast color, the light blue, is quite a bit lighter than the other ones. So I wasn't really sure what to do and if I should just alternate the stripes or whatever, but I'm really happy with my choice. I'm really happy with the way that this turned out. I think the color layout is exactly perfect. I would not change it. So the colorways that I used are Tiger is the main color, and then the dark blue is Enchanted, the light blue is Sea Mist, the red is Chestnut, and the green is Green Olive. And I still have quite a bit left over, especially for the contrast colors, and I have like a good portion of one skein left over for the main color as well. So I was honestly kind of thinking about if I made a second one, I could do it with like a cream main color and use all of these as the contrast. Maybe I wouldn't use the light blue, but I could use the other four as contrasts and make a second one. But I don't know if I would want to do a second stripe pipe with most of the same colors as the first one. But I do really like the idea of doing another stripe pipe that has a cream main color because I really like the way that that looks. But I really like the way that mine turned out too, like with the gold main color. I'm really, really happy with. I knit size small, which is the second size, and I'm really happy with the fit. I have not measured it yet, so I don't know if my gauge was exactly on. I think my gauge was maybe a little bit tight, but after blocking it could be spot on. I'm not sure. I will try to measure and I'll try to remember to put that in my Ravelry, but I'm very bad about that. So that is an opportunity for growth, I will say. That is something I could improve on, is remembering to measure my final like gauge and my garment measurements and put those in my Ravelry because I know sometimes folks really like to see that. So anyway, that's my finished stripe pipe. I did use a US 6 needle. I used a US 3 needle for all the twisted ribbing, and I think it's perfect. I love the way the fabric feels. I love the amount of ease I have and the size. I actually even really like the length. I can stand up a little bit. I thought it was gonna almost be too long, but I actually really like the length. And I really like the sleeve length too. I was also nervous that the sleeves were actually gonna be too short, but I think this length is perfect. It ends just at the beginning of my hand, and I really like it. I don't like sleeves to be too long because it bothers me if they're like coming down over my thumb, but this is, I think, the perfect sleeve length for me for this type of sweater. So I'm glad I didn't end up adding extra length into the sleeves because then after blocking, it would have been too long. So a good trust yourself moment. Because I don't remember, I think I had one sleeve finished last time when I showed y'all. So they were quite a bit shorter before blocking, but this is perfect. And what else do I have to say about this? I don't think I have anything else in my notes. I'm just really happy with how it turned out and can't wait to go and get some photos of it tomorrow. I'll definitely share those on Instagram so that you can see maybe some of the close-ups a little bit better. but I think that the collar length is really nice and sits really nicely. The back actually doesn't have any short rows, but I still think the fit is really nice. Yeah, I'm smitten. I feel like it's so cute. So yeah, that is my first finished object for the week. I feel like this sweater is going to be one that I just wear every day for the next week. You ever feel like that when you finish a sweater and you're just like, I love this so much, I'm going to wear it every single day until I get tired of it. I mean, I won't ever get tired of it, but you know what I mean? Until I'm like, maybe I should wear something else. But I mean, I'm wearing it today, and I know I'm gonna wear it tomorrow, so we'll see if I wear it every single day this week. Yeah. Okay, I do have one other finished object for the week, and that is my Scotland socks. So I did finish my Scotland socks. I think I had one of these finished last week, but I finished the other one, so here they are. They are not blocked. They do not have the ends woven in. I have 2 pairs of socks now that need their ends woven in and need to be blocked, but now that it's finally cool enough that it's hand knit sock season, I probably will actually weave in the ends and block these so that well, I don't know. I mentioned this, I think, a couple episodes ago. Do you block your socks? I don't know. I probably still will because I just like the way that the stitches kind of settle, even if it doesn't matter for sizing or anything, but I'll probably still just weave in the ends and at least, you know, soak them and lay them out to dry. But I did not follow pattern for these. I just did a 2x1 rib and I did them top down, and then I just did a slip stitch heel flap and your standard gusset. And this yarn is from Red Door Fiber Studio. I call these my Scotland socks because the colorway name is Old Man of Storr. It was inspired by a hike that Kate did in the Isle of Skye in Scotland. And I also did that hike. And so I wanted to get the yarn and I took it with me. And this was part of my series of socks that I knit in the place that inspired the colorway. So I only did, I think, like 3 of those. But anyway, this was one of them. I didn't finish it on the trip, but I finished it up. I knit some of it on the trip and then I finished it up, yeah, this last week, I guess the week before last. So I love the contrast color. This bright kind of icy blue is so cute. And I think it's just really nice. So yeah, I did 60 stitches. I think these are a little bit tight. Now that I have tightened up my sock knitting gauge a little bit, I think 64 stitches is pretty good for me. So I started another pair of socks, which I'll share about in a second. And I did 64 stitches for those. And then I was kind of like, maybe these are too big. So I don't know. But I think these are maybe a touch on the snug side, but perhaps after I wash them, they will relax a little bit. Yeah, but I'm happy with them. That's it. That's all I have to say about my Scotland socks. Oh, and I used a US 0 needle, but I always use a US 0 needle for my socks. Okay, that's it for finished objects, but like I mentioned, I did start another pair of socks, so I can share about that now. So this is a work in progress. I started what I'm calling my pumpkin socks. So again, I'm not really using a pattern for these, but I'll hold it up so you can see what it looks like. So cute. So I'm just doing, again, kind of like a self-drafted. This is a 1x1 broken rib. And I did just like a standard slip stitch heel flap and gusset for this as well. I'm doing it cuff down. The yarn here is the red Pansy Voyager sock in the colorway Pumpkin Picking. I got this. This was the Indie Untangled exclusive colorway from last year. So I got this at Indie Untangled last year and was just really feeling like a festive kind of thematic sock. Like I mentioned, I've been really itching for fall. So I was ready to knit some fall socks once I finished my Scotland socks. So yeah, these are knitting up really quickly. I think the color is so pretty. Like I mentioned briefly, I am doing 64 stitches for this one. I don't know, does this look too small? I mean, it's stretchy, so hopefully, or does it look too big? I don't know. We'll see. It looks maybe a little big. I don't know. I think it'll be fine. This is also a US size 0 needle. And maybe it's the type of needle I'm using, because for these I mostly knit it on metal needles and these I'm doing wooden, and so maybe but aren't people normally looser with metal needles? I don't remember which way that generally goes. These are bamboo needles that I'm using, and I just put them on bamboo needles because I took these socks with me. We have been traveling the last 2 weekends, and so I just, for peace of mind and everything, I just started these socks on bamboo needles so that I could fly with them and take them into places that had security and stuff without worrying about the metal pointy sock needles. So, and I don't mind the bamboo needles too much. Yeah, I am going with some friends to a pumpkin patch, not this upcoming weekend, but the following weekend. So I would love to finish these socks before then, but I'm not sure if I will or not. This is the first one. Let me show you what the yarn looks like in the cake. I think I showed it last episode in the skein, but this is what it looks like caked up. And yeah, this is what it looks like knitted up. So, and I did do a tubular cast on for this. Normally I don't, like I didn't for the Scotland socks. I just did a normal long tail cast on, but I don't know. I just kind of thought the tubular was nice, so I did it. And then I did 1x1 rib for a while, and then I went into 1x1 broken rib. But I think it's turning out very cute. So yeah, that is my first work in progress. My second work in progress is probably what I worked on the most over the last 2 weeks, and I made a lot of progress on it. It may not seem like I made that much progress on it. I don't know, it probably does, but I knit on this a lot. So this is the Lunan Polo, which is a pattern by Rebecca Clow, the Crayabea. And I am knitting this for my sister. And here it is. Here is my progress. So I think last week I had just joined under the arm and just started going in the round. And so I have knit most of the body. So from here to here, I have knit in the last 2 weeks. Most of that was in the last week because, like I mentioned, we were traveling from Friday to Tuesday, and we were in Yellowstone National Park, and there's a lot of driving involved, and I personally did not do any of the driving. I did a lot of passenging, and I got to knit on this a lot. The park is so big, and we weren't staying super close to the park, so we ended up, driving over an hour into the park each day and out of the park each day. And so there's just lots of time for knitting. So I made lots of progress on this. I am very happy with how it's turning out. I did a little try on the other day and sent a picture to my sister so that she could see kind of the length and how it's going. And she does like her tops a little bit cropped, so I'm actually quite close to being done with the body. I think I maybe need to do maybe 1 more inch, and then we'll do, I think you switch to 1x1 rib. This is 3x1 rib. So I think you switch to 1x1 rib at the end, just for maybe even like 1/2 inch or 3/4 of an inch or something. And then, yeah, I just have to do the collar and the sleeves. I have heard from some of y'all were very helpful. I was wondering, like, how much yarn is this gonna use? I didn't feel like I was using as much yarn as I expected to, but some of y'all let me know that the collar does take up a lot of yarn, so I'm also anticipating it taking up quite a bit of time. And then I also have to do the sleeves. So I would love to finish this in the next couple of weeks, just because this is my last kind of summerish knit, and I would love to kind of transition all the way into fall knits, but my real deadline is before my sister's birthday, which is at the end of October. So I definitely have time for that, but I'm feeling somewhat of a push to just try to get this done in the next couple of weeks. I am on my This is my third ball. Oh, I should tell you the yarn that I'm using and the size and all the information that is important. So I am using Wooldreamers Sanoa in the colorway Ozetta. So this is a 50-50 wool and cotton blend yarn. And it's a fingering weight. I don't know how many plies it is, like 2 maybe. I mean, it's, yeah, that's a 2-ply yarn. And I am knitting size 1, the smallest size, and I'm using a US 1.5 needle. I think the pattern maybe calls for a US 2, but my gauge was off, so I ended up having to go with the US 1.5. I think my row gauge is still off, so I am ending up having to knit more rows than I would if I had gauge properly. But of course, I prioritized having the right stitch gauge rather than having the right row gauge. So, because you can always add more rows. And I did have to do some adjustments in the top part, both on the back and each of the fronts to account for my row gauge being off. But I think I got it all figured out and everything looks good now. The armholes are honestly a little bit deep, but I think that it's the kind of thing where once I pick up around the armhole and it kind of will draw in and it'll end up being a little bit tighter, not so deep of an armhole. And then yeah, I think that the collar will cinch everything in a little bit as well. Now that I think about it though, I'm wondering if everything's gonna get cinched up. I know some of my friends like to do the sleeves before finishing the body just for try on purposes. So maybe I should pause here on the body and I should go to the sleeves just to make sure that it doesn't pull up the body and end up being too short. Do y'all have a preference for that? I'm curious, do you always finish the body first and then go to the sleeves, or do you go knit the sleeves before finishing the body? I don't know. I normally feel like I do the body first and then I'll go and do the sleeves at the end, but I guess I could go do the sleeves if I'm worried about it. I don't think it'll make a huge difference, so maybe I will just finish the body. I don't know. I'll decide later, but yeah, I've been keeping track. I have a little marker where I like to track how much I knit each day. So each day when I start working on a project, I'll just move the marker up to where I'm at, and then at the end of the day I can see how much progress I made. And you can see I don't remember, maybe I moved the marker 2 days ago on Tuesday. Didn't make much progress on Tuesday, like 1 row maybe. But yeah, maybe after, like when I'm editing this video, I'll work on this project. I could just knit on it now while I'm talking to y'all, but I probably won't do that because I feel like that would distract me and maybe distract you. Okay. Did I say everything I need to say about that? I think so. Sorry, I'm just looking down at my notes always to double check. I have another new cast on in addition to the socks. I have another new cast on and I started another sweater. So since I knew I was finishing this one up, I was ready to start another garment. And I've been talking to Chelsea of True Lane about knitting the Seaway pullover, which is a very cute cabled pullover by Ozetta. And I feel like it's different from other cabled sweaters in that the cables are less frequent and more kind of spaced out. So it makes this really cool like wave effect, I guess. And I had been really itching to use this yarn that I had in stash. So, well, first I can show you. So yes, I'm knitting the Seaway pullover along with my friend Chelsea. And then my friend Charlotte is also knitting along the Seaway pullover as well. So there are a couple of us doing it. I have just cast on and I just finished the back short rows, but this is what it looks like so far. So you can see that kind of wavy pattern. It's really hard for me to hold it up right now. It's really hard to show you, but hopefully you can kind of see it. So the yarn is Harrisville Daylight in the colorway Bloodshot. So this is a, I believe 100% Cormo yarn. This is my first time knitting with Cormo and I really like it. It has this really squishy, almost kind of a dry, squish, soft feeling. I don't know how else to describe it, but I really like it. It is yarn that I got from New York Sheep and Wool, not last year, but the year before. So it's been in my stash for quite a while, and I was just waiting to kind of figure out what the perfect project was gonna be, and I felt like this was gonna be really good. I really like it in this. So the Daylights series of yarn is all yarn, all like cream base with little bits of color. So Bloodshot is which is not my favorite name. I don't know. Bloodshot is kind of, I feel like not the most appealing. Like it's got red and pink in it. Couldn't we have done like a floral name, or I don't know, something nicer than Bloodshot? But the whole Harrisville Daylights line is cream with different colors blended into it just a little bit. And so Bloodshot is the one with a little bit of this reddish pink color, but there are yellow, blue, green, purple, all other colors of it as well. And there's also a Nightshades line, which is the same with black yarn. So it's like a black base with little bits of color in it. And yeah, I just really liked this kind of reddish pink one, but it is mostly cream. It just like looks a little bit pink. And so maybe if I hold this up a little bit closer, you can see the pink in the fabric as well. Maybe can you see that? Just a little bit of these little bits of pink. But yeah, I'm really itching to work on this more. I think, well, I'm casting on another sweater this weekend, so, but I think it's gonna be a really quick one, so I don't know. I'll keep working on this some, and I'm not in a huge rush, but I just really am enjoying it, so I do want to keep working on it. I think I really like working with this yarn, and it's not really stripes, but I feel like with cables too, it's like wanting to get to the next cable row, kind of, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm really liking how it's turning out, so hopefully I can make some more progress on this in the next couple of weeks. And I think that once I get to the point where it's in the round too, it's really gonna cruise. So yeah, I just really like this yarn. I've been excited to use it for a while, so I'm really glad to have found the perfect project. And Chelsea is actually using somewhat of a similar yarn. I believe she's using Little Fiber Co. Prismatic, which was a limited drop that Lauren had at Flock Fiber Festival, which is it was like a cream base with little bits of color that were actually from her hand-dyed yarn ties from dyeing. Which is so cool. Like, I just love that idea. So, and the yarn was really cute too. So Chelsea and I will have a similar vibe for our Seaway pullovers. And then my friend Charlotte is using, I think it is Industrial Kingfisher from Stranded Dye Works, which is a color that I have actually really had my eye on for a long time. I don't think I ever bought some, and I don't think Jude is dyeing yarn anymore, but yeah, the color is really nice. It's like this really cool bluey orange variegated color, which I think is also perfect for Seaway, that blue with the waves. Anyway, we're gonna have some really cute Seaways that are gonna be matching and yeah, and lovely. So I am not sure, it may be on my needles for a while, but I do really like this sweater. I'm glad I got it started. And then the last thing that I worked on over the last couple weeks is not a new cast on, and I did not work on this a ton, but it is my Handspun shawl. So this is the Autumn Tail shawl by Ozetta. It's my last two patterns are both Ozetta. And I put a marker in where I was last time, right here. I don't know if you can see the marker. It's like kind of blending in right there. So I only did a little bit, and I did all this last night. I just was like, I kind of don't want to think about anything, and I just want to work on something that feels really good, and that is this. So this is the Autumn Tails shawl by Ozetta, and it is slightly modified. Rather than doing the applied kind of braided edging at the end, I'm just doing a like as you go I-cord edging. This yarn is actually my Handspun. So this is from, the fiber is from YarnJam, and it is in their Shaniko confetti tweed base. which is just an absolute delight to spin. If you have been watching the podcast for a while, you definitely have heard me talk about this because I have been talking about it for forever. But this colorway is from YarnJam, from Trisha's podcaster collection, which I was fortunate enough to be a part of. And so the colorway is Gently Chaotic Knits. So this yarn colorway is inspired by me, which is just the coolest thing, and is actually still available for purchase if you're interested in this yarn or this fiber. You can go, I'll link the website and everything below. You can still go, I think, until the end of September. So just a few more days. Today is what, the 26th? How many, I have to do the thing on my knuckles to figure out how many days there are in September. Okay, 30 days in September. So that means that after today, there are like 4 more days. Yeah, so if you want to, you can go pre-order this fiber. So it's available in the Shaniko confetti tweed base, but also just the plain Shaniko with no tweed bits, which I actually spun up and I can show you what that looks like. Here is what the non-tweed looks like. And if you want to know more about the process to spin this yarn, you can check out, I have a deep dive video that I published a few weeks ago now about my entire process spinning this yarn. So just kind of goes through the whole thing if you're interested in learning more about this yarn. So I'll put that back here. But yeah, I only worked a little bit. This is my first skein, so I am making progress. And then I did cake up my second skein. So this is my second skein. And you can tell this looks different from the non-tweed one because it has all these little colorful bits in it. It's just more blendy, I think, than the non-tweed one. I would definitely recommend trying the Shaniko base. So whether you do the tweed or the non-tweed, both are so delightful to spin and really delightful to knit as well. It's really, really squishy and just feels so good. I think this is going to be a great project or shawl to just wrap up in the cold weather. And I was thinking about it. I think this is a perfect submission or perfect project to participate in the Cozy Comforts make-along that my friends Bridget and Ariel are doing, because they were so kind to allow in-progress whips as well, because I had already started this before the make-along started. I think it was September 22nd. So I had already started this, but I feel like this is a perfect submission. They are basically doing a make-along for any kind of neck accessory. So something that's gonna keep you nice and warm and cozy in the colder weather. And I think they are also encouraging folks to use their handspun. So since this is a handspun and a neck accessory, I think this is a really good way to participate in the make-along. So I am also knitting this along with my friend Maya. She is working on a similar shawl in her handspun, and I mean, the colors could not be more different. And honestly, I think her yarn is quite a bit lighter than mine as well. So it'll probably, I have less knitting to do than she does because I think my yarn just turned out a lot thicker. But both are very cute in their own kind of different vibe. But yeah, if you are also interested in knitting a cozy neck accessory, you should check out Ari Knits here on YouTube is where we are now, and on Instagram, and I think she had been sharing in her more recent videos about it. And then Bridget on Instagram is BZB Knits, and I think they have been posting about it. I think there's a Discord, which maybe I should try to join as well to chat with other folks in the make-along. But yeah, I think you can, I don't know, I think there are prizes and stuff too. So I probably should have researched this more thoroughly before getting on here, but yeah, that could be fun. So I think it's called Cozy Comforts. Now I'm like second guessing myself. Is my phone here? Can I double check that? That's right? Now I can't find my phone. Okay, I'm gonna check this really quick just to make sure that I'm not leading y'all astray, because I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, I know this is the most annoying thing that I have done on the podcast before, where I look things up on my phone. Yes, Cozy Comforts Make-Along. Okay, great. Yes. And what? Neck accessories, callus shawls, scarves, whatever can go around your neck. And there's also a hashtag on Instagram that you can use, Cozy Comforts MAL, and there are prizes. So, could be fun. Anyway, I thought this might be a good submission for that as well, and good to support my friends. And that's it. That's all I have been knitting on this week, or the last 2 weeks. I do have a finished spin, so let me get that out of my bag. I finished this mere moments before coming downstairs to record. I just wound this off of the bobbin. It is barely finished, but this is my finished cinnamon roll spin. So I had just 4 ounces of the most incredible fiber from Mitchell Wool Co. And it was just so soft. Like I can't even tell you how soft this yarn is. And the fiber was too. I think it's a 100% merino. And I just spun this up as a traditional 2-ply. You know, it's all one color, so I didn't do any kind of messing with the color or the braid or anything. And it's not my most consistent yarn, and I think that's mostly because the fiber was so slick, it was so slippery that it was really hard for me to keep my drafting consistent. But I am still really happy with how it turned out. This is not washed yet, so I think also after washing it will relax and maybe it'll look a little bit more nice and consistent, but I did still want to show it here. Yeah, and let's see, I don't know what weight this is. I'm guessing in the range of like a sport to DK. I mean, again, it's like not the most consistent. There are parts that are probably worsted and there are parts that are fingering. It's just a little bit, it was just, I don't know. I felt like at times I was fighting for my life with this, with this spin, but I think I got my wheel into a better setup. I got my drawback tension all the way down and just got into a better rhythm with it eventually. But yeah, you can definitely see that it's not the most consistent yarn that I've ever spun. I mean, there are definitely thicker, thinner spots. So, but I'm still really happy with it. It's so soft. I don't know yet what I'm gonna make with it, but it has to be something up by my face because this is so soft. So I don't know, maybe I would make like one of those little shawls or like neck scarves, or I feel like a hat could be nice too, but I need to check my yardage because I'm a little worried I don't have enough yardage to make any of those things. Yeah, I just had 4 ounces and I spun it, I guess, a little bit thick. I spun it like a DK weight, but I really, really wish y'all could feel this. It feels so soft. This is easily the softest. Just, it's really almost silky. It's really soft, silky feeling. Yeah, I don't know. It's in contrast to kind of like the Shaniko or Rambouillet, it's not as plump, it's not as bouncy, but it's really like smooth. I don't know how else to describe it. It almost kind of has a sheen to it as well, so maybe that conveys what I'm trying to say a little bit, but yeah, I just finished this. I had actually not spun for most of the last 2 weeks. I went, I guess like 10 plus days in a row without spinning. So I was definitely missing it. I think on my previous episode, I was very much in spin mode and I'd been spinning all the time. But yeah, I mean, those things kind of come and go and I'm comfortable with that. Like that's not a big deal to me. So, and it's been busy. I will talk in the life section, I guess, maybe a little bit more about what we've been up to, but which I guess is now. I'm done talking about this, but yeah, so I hadn't been spinning as much, but today I just felt like spinning and I was also hoping to finish this before recording today so that I had some sort of spinning to show. I mentioned last time also I was working on my Christmas sock spin and I did I think I finished my first bobbin. I don't think I was quite finished with my first bobbin when I last recorded. So I did finish my first bobbin, but I didn't bring it down here to show because it looks the same pretty much as last time. But I had to finish this spin to free up the bobbins to finish up, to keep going on my Christmas sock spin. So now that this is done, I'll go back to my Christmas sock spin. And then next on my wheel after that is gonna be a big sweater spin. I am spinning for the Traveler hoodie. So that is a project that I am knitting along with some of my friends, my Seattle knitting group and our San Francisco pals. We are all knitting the Traveler hoodie together. And a few of us are spinning for it as well. So I think some folks have already cast on and some folks are gonna be casting on. I think we're starting in early October. So rather than casting on the sweater at that time, I will probably be starting my spin at that time. So yeah, I may only have time to finish my sock spin before I get started on that. I don't know if I'll have time for anything else. I originally was kind of hoping to get another spin in, sneak another spin in before starting the sweater spin, but because I haven't been spinning very much in the last couple weeks, I just don't think I will get that in. But I mean, I might, depending on how quickly I go on the sock spin. But yeah, I guess I have now about a week. So I feel like I'm just gonna be trying to get the sock spin done. And then I'm thinking about trying to record another one of those deep dive videos about the whole process of spinning and knitting my Traveler hoodie. So I shared in my last episode the fiber that I have planned for that project. I won't go through it again here. It is I'm gonna do a 2-ply with a gray BFL and some colorful hand-dyed bits from a patchwork kit that I got from Hello Yarn. So I will talk more if I record that deep dive video. I will share more in that video about how I'm gonna prep the fiber and get everything going. But yeah, I'm really excited about that spin too. I think that one's gonna be really fun. And the more I think about it, it's like, how am I gonna have time to knit all these things? Because in my head, it's like, I wanna knit this many sweaters before the end of the year, and it's almost October. So I mean, at my usual sweater knitting pace, I've got 3 sweaters left before the year ends. Like that, I don't think I can get any more. But oh my gosh, I was watching Ariel and Meghan from A Naughty Mess and Airy Knits. They were talking about, and also at our knit night last week, they cast on the birch pullover. And I'm really antsy to make another birch pullover. I really want to, but I do have a specific yarn in mind that I think I talked about last episode that I don't have currently in my stash. So I need to wait until I can get that yarn. And yeah, but I really want to. I'm like, can I squeeze that in the end of the year? And also my friends want to do a boucle knit, like a group boucle knit before the end of the year that I really want to do. Okay, so let's take a step back and let's think planning wise. I don't know if this is interesting to anyone, but this weekend I'm casting on the Doppio sweater, which I actually have my yarn in my swatch here. I can show you if you don't remember. The Doppio is this super fun pullover. It's a raglan that uses multiple strands of yarn held together. So for mine, the kind of yarn that I was building my combo around was this yarn from Sorella. It is called Stars Hollow. It is inspired by Gilmore Girls, and that kind of just sparked everything for me. So I love to rewatch Gilmore Girls every fall, and so I got this yarn. It was like, I love this yarn. I mean, the colors are perfect for me as well. It's red, yellow, and blue speckles, which is so me. Are you kidding? So I got this, and then to go with it, I got this fingering weight yarn from, it's Woolberry Homestead, I think. And then this is Cumulus. I think the colorway is natural, but I don't actually remember, and I don't have the tag here with me. But anyway, these are my yarns that I'm holding together for it. And then I have my swatch here which is so cute. I'm so excited. So I am going to my friend Maya's this weekend and we are casting on our doppio sweaters together and we are having the coziest fall evening. We are going to have cozy food and fall food and beverages, and we're gonna start watching Gilmore Girls together and we're gonna cast on our sweaters. I'm so excited. So okay, so for planning purposes, I have my doppio. That one I think is gonna be fast. So let's say including doppio, I can maybe knit 4 more sweaters this year. Is that aggressive? Okay, let's just say that I could. So I have doppio and I have Seaway that I have already started. So that's 2. So then I have room for 2 more. So if I want to do the boucle knit with my friends, then that's 1. So then I have room for another one, which I'm definitely doing the is it called Alvar? I don't know how to pronounce it. The Alvar by Sari Nordland in my Handspun. My friend Maya and I are knitting that together starting in October. So that's it. I feel like I can't fit anything else in, but I also really want to knit a birch, and I was talking about knitting my tessellated pullover with my handspun, with this handspun. I'm going to Sacred Sheep in November and I want to get yarn to pair with this to make the tessellated pullover. And I don't know how long it's going to take to spin the yarn for the Traveler hoodie, but I want to start my Traveler hoodie, and I have other yarn that I got during my travels that I really want to cast on. So I don't know. I wish I knit faster. Like, I watch some of my friends that just get through their knitting so quickly and can make, I don't know, like it feels like 1 million sweaters in 1 year. And I normally make on the order of roughly 12 in a year. But I know that this is not a process that I need to rush, and all that yarn will be there for me when I'm ready for it. And so I need to take a step back. I've got a lot to look forward to, but I am excited about a lot of the things ahead, and I'm just like ready to cast on. So we'll see. I think doppio, Seaway, Alvar, and the boucle knit. The boucle knit may also be quick because the boucle you normally knit at a pretty loose gauge. So maybe I could at least start another one before the end of the year. I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, those 4 I'm definitely, I think, gonna do. And for the boucle knit, I guess I was thinking in my head that I don't have any acquisitions this week, but I actually do have an acquisition to share. Do I have it down here or did I leave it upstairs? Oh, I have it. Okay. My friend Ariel, where did I put this? Sorry, this is probably not the most fun, just looking at my back. Okay, here, I have it. So some of my friends knit boucle sweaters, I guess it was last year, in this beautiful color that I love. This is Explorer Knits Boucle DK in the colorway Oxide, and they all had quite a bit left over, and so they're pooling their leftovers and giving them to me so that I can also make an Oxide sweater, which is so sweet. So Ariel gave me her leftovers. So she had, I think, roughly 1.5 skeins or like 1 1/3. I don't know how much this one is exactly. So that will get me started at least for the sweater. And I don't remember what pattern they were thinking about making. Maybe the home sweater by Kadri. Maybe it's like a V-neck sweater, which I think would be really cute in this as well. So yeah, so I'll be ready for a boucle knit along. And I'm gonna be knitting a lot in this color this fall because, I mean, it's slightly different, but it's not that different. This is my handspun yarn that I am using for the Alvar. I never know if I'm saying that right. Why does it sound weird to me? The Alvar sweater pullover by Sari Nordland that I am knitting along with my friend Maya. So I've got lots of this like rosy red pinkish color ahead. So very fun. So yeah, I guess this is my only acquisition for the last 2 weeks, and it was just given to me by my friend Ariel, and I'm very excited about that. So that's the plans. That's kind of what I have coming up ahead. It's tough though, because when I think about, oh, I feel like I can knit more than that, I also have to balance if I want to be spinning as well. And unfortunately, those kind of take time from each other. So like if I am in a phase where I'm spinning a lot, I definitely knit less during that time too. So, and I still have to finish this Lunan polo for my sister too. So maybe 4 sweaters is a little bit aggressive. It doesn't matter. I don't need to set, I have talked way too long about this. I do not need to set like a specific, I need to finish this many sweaters or whatever. But I just like to think about what I can finish before the end of the year. Okay, that's it, I think, for all the crafting stuff. I don't have any more knitting or spinning to talk about. Just a quick, I guess, kind of life update. Like I mentioned, we were traveling the last couple of weekends, but we're back now for the foreseeable future. And I have definitely came back and was like, it's fall. It is time for fall. So we are cooking and baking all the fall things. We're going apple picking tomorrow. So we're gonna start our apple bonanza. Like I mentioned, I'm going to Maya's this weekend. We're doing like a really cozy fall evening. So I'm really all the way in, ready for fall. Yesterday we made one of my favorites. It's this, we had only made it one time before. It's this pumpkin salad. You like cut up one of those small pumpkins and roast it, and then you make this I don't remember what it's called, like pumpkin seed crunch or sweet pumpkin crunch or whatever, with pepitas, like the little pumpkin seeds, and this like spice mix and maple syrup, and it's so good. And then you put like feta and fennel. I love fennel. Oh, anyway, the salad is so good. I actually took a picture of it. I can put up here. The lighting's not great, but if you want to see what the salad looks like. And I actually think I got this recipe from an Andrea Mowry newsletter last year. I'm pretty sure that's where I originally saw it. So props to Andrea. Thank you for the pumpkin salad recipe. We made this for the first time when we were visiting my sister in Wisconsin last year, which was around this time of year. I think it was last October. And she and her fiance are vegan. So this was a great recipe for that. Our version that we made yesterday is actually technically not vegan because we just use normal feta instead of vegan feta, but like you can definitely use vegan feta if you're a vegan. And how many times can I say vegan in like one sentence? But we made that. And then this weekend, we're also gonna make homemade gnocchi with I don't know if I'm sure other people do this, or if any of y'all do this, but whenever we eat something really good at a restaurant, sometimes we try to like figure out how to make it ourselves. And one time, I think this was actually in Friday Harbor, like on one of the cute little islands off the coast of Washington, we ate at a restaurant around the fall a couple years ago there. I think the restaurant has since closed. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was like a gnocchi with like a brown butter sauce, and it had roasted squash and goat cheese and like some sort of toasted nut. And it was so good that we're trying to recreate it this weekend. I think we did it a couple years ago. We tried to recreate it as well, and it turned out pretty good. But yeah, so we're gonna do homemade gnocchi, which is so fun to make. I mean, time consuming, but really fun and so tasty. And then yeah, like a brown butter and sage sauce with squash and goat cheese and like some sort of, maybe we'll do pecans. I love pecans. Yeah, so that'll be really good. So we're making that. I'm also, this weekend, I think I've shared about this. This is gonna be a callback for the longtime viewers of the podcast. I think I mentioned this when I made them years ago. I am making the sourdough cruffins again because I have missed them. I haven't made them at all in the last like year plus because we were traveling, and I'm ready. It is a labor of love. It's intense to make them because it's a laminated dough, but I'm ready. And so this weekend I'm making the cinnamon sugar sourdough cruffins. So I'm gonna make that this weekend. If you're unsure what a cruffin is, it's basically just croissant dough that you shape in a muffin tin. So it's like a croissant muffin. They're so good, but they take so much effort. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. I actually, after this, I need to go and I need to make my sourdough schedule for the next few days and figure out if the timing works, like when we're not gonna be at the house, because yeah, I'm also planning to make 2 sourdough loaves this weekend, one to take to Maya's house for our little fall evening plans, and then one because since we're going apple picking, it's apple grilled cheese time. So I think I've shared about this before as well, but I love to make a grilled cheese sandwich with thin apple slices in it. So I got at the store a couple days ago, or yesterday when I went to the grocery store, I got some of my favorite cheeses. You know, you gotta get like a Havarti dill and some smoked Gouda and like some great cheddar cheese, just like a mix. And we'll do probably like a little apple and cheese charcuterie or something like that right after we get the apples, just because I like to taste the different apple varieties and do like little apple cheese pairings. I'm so excited about the apple things. But then with the cheese, I'm going to make grilled cheeses with homemade sourdough and our apples that we picked. I'll put my thin slice of apple, and I'll normally put like a little meat, or like we have some arugula. I could put some arugula in there as well, just to give it like a little bit of a heartier flavor, and maybe a little vegetable in there, but I'm so excited for that as well. So yeah, I've got cruffins and 2 sourdough loaves on the docket this weekend. So yeah, should be really good. I guess I was gonna say week, but we have even started planning out next week all the fall dishes we want to make. I gotta make pumpkin pasta. That also a fall staple in our household. We have a really good pumpkin sauce, like pumpkin pasta sauce that we use. And then I found these really cute pasta shapes that look like pumpkins. It's like a standard pasta shape, but they just look like pumpkins. I don't remember the name of them, that I found at Whole Foods a couple weeks ago. I was like, I'm grabbing this. I'm getting it ready for when it's pumpkin season. So yeah, we are ready. We're fully in it, and it is, yeah, it's fall. I'm lighting my fall candles. I need to get some more. I'm gonna go through these quickly. Yeah, and then otherwise, we're nearing the end of baseball season, so we've been going to a couple baseball games. We'll go to the last game of the season this weekend as well as on Sunday. Like I mentioned, football season has started, NFL season has started, and college football season has started, so we're watching football basically every day except for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then, yeah, I don't know, we're just settling back into our routine here in Seattle. I am still slowly unpacking the last few boxes that we have. I am hoping today to get some curtains hung and I have artwork that I want to plan where I want to put in our house. So yeah, just those kind of final bits. We've got lots of cardboard to recycle and to break down so that we can maybe get our car into the garage, that kind of thing. But yeah, hopefully lots of knitting ahead and coziness. I have been drinking a pumpkin chai most mornings, which I have to tell y'all, if you can get pumpkin flavored oat milk and then use that with your chai concentrate instead of like normal milk or normal oat milk, it's really good. So pumpkin chai, I definitely recommend. It also feels very fall and very cozy, so I've been drinking that in the mornings, and then yeah, otherwise just hanging in there, doing my best. That's all I can do. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I am gonna try to go back to adding in the like intermediate video in between each project update video that's about like a different topic or whatever. So it seemed like there was maybe some interest in a video about tracking my knits, like how I track them on Ravelry or on other ways. So I am hoping to record a video like that for y'all next week. And I mean, we'll see. we'll see how the week goes. But yeah, that's my hope. And then otherwise, I think that's it. I am so excited about the knitting and spinning and all the crafting that I have ahead. I hope you are excited too. I feel like this time of year is when I am my most, honestly, just inspired by all the crafting. So yeah, I hope you're feeling that way too. And I'd love to hear what you're working on or what you're excited about, because maybe I want to make it too. I probably do. I want to make everything. So but yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great week or great couple weeks, and I hope you do lots of knitting and watch lots of baseball, and the playoffs are coming, so hopefully you follow a team that will make the playoffs. The Mariners likely will not, but I mean, there's still a chance, but a lot of things have to go perfectly right for that to happen. By the time this video is published, they probably will have already been eliminated. And yeah, I hope you have a great week and a great fall season. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, also, for our Southern Hemisphere friends, I hope you're enjoying the approach of spring. That was the longest outro I've ever done, and so we're just gonna call it. Bye.